This is Trophy, Roots of Old Kalduhr, Part 8. Everyone is refreshed, having spent some time at camp, going back down into the ruins, back down into Old Kalduhr. You were disappointed to discover that the machinery that operates the levitating platform across the underground lake is now broken, and so you have to find another way down. And indeed, happily, you find a cave tunnel system that lets out onto a series of high cliffs and switchbacks, which you are all carefully navigating down. Now, you are in the climb set. Your set goal is to travel between the deep layers of Old Kalduhr. Off mic, you all told me you were going back to level 1, to layer 1, and so that's where we're headed. It's not going to be a very hard climb as far as it goes. Let's begin. Now, everyone thinks that the job I do is easy. They say, "Oh, Nerbo, all you do all day is sit at your desk behind your ledger, entering numbers, scribbling numbers on the left, scribbling numbers on the right. Oh, someone's brought in a sack of coin. I guess you have to count the coin. Number goes up, number goes down. Scribble, scribble, scribble." They seem to think that a child who can count on his fingers can do my job. Oh, but let me assure you, treasure hunters, it's much more difficult than that.
It seems something is vexing you, Nerbo.
For example, have you ever considered the possibility that while you are down inside tunnels, treasure hunters, crawling about in the muck, overturning ancient stones, looking for treasure, as is your remit, that there's an entire administrative state above ground ensuring that the world continues to spin on its axle?
Berwin, this might be a time for your very strange yell that you do.
You may be able to speak over that.
Treasure
Quite
hunter,
a...
an object lesson. He talks to you, Torum. Hold up your weapon there, treasure hunter. What is that you've got in your hands? That an axe, I suppose? No, it's a sword, yes. Now, have you ever considered, treasure hunter, where the steel comes from that was used in the manufacture of that blade? Where the various metals used in its alloy were sourced from? Where the leather that was used to wrap around the pommel came from? And the oils, where they were pressed so that they could be applied to said leather? Have you ever given this any thought?
Corin looked at his blade with a new appreciation. I suppose I have not.
Indeed. And now we are all seeing how things work, aren't we? Treasure hunter, to you, Alina. You have no doubt collected a number of alms for the poor in service of your faith, and of course a certain portion of that has to go to the king and to various government agencies. There are many edicts that have to be followed in financial matters. Have you ever considered who manages all of these transactions?
No, because why would I? I assume that they can do their jobs without beaking off constantly.
What would even be the point of going into the lost and forgotten places of the world looking for treasure if there was nothing to return to? That's all I'm saying. It is a vast and complex machinery, a great, terrible storm of financial interest that has to be managed.
And you are doing the sister's work, no doubt.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, shall we then?
And so you press forward. The six of you. No sign of gone in a while. So maybe the five of you right now. You stop for a rest. And after a time, you start to notice that Nurbo is walking toward the edge of the cliff you're currently sat on. He says, "Does anyone see that? What is that? It's so colorful. It's so alluring. The iridescent sheen, a glimmer. Oh, I think I want to step out and reach for it and take it for myself." Indeed, there is something there, kind of hovering in the darkness, glimmering, and he is walking toward it, and he's going to fall off.
I reach out with my big meaty arm. Dear Nubo, have you any experience in delving?
Theoretical, but extensive.
Yeah, of course. Well, in practice, it is wise to not follow the shiny thing immediately. It is more wise to assess from afar. Uh, it would behoove you to
Shine,
not continue onward.
shiny things often are accompanied by danger. That is why one needs professional treasure hunters.
Yes, I see that now. Your efforts to save my life are well met, treasure hunter. Indeed, you will see floating out in the darkness, and I need a torch here if nobody's lit a torch yet, or a candle or something. You will see that this shiny glimmer is actually the scales of, I would describe it as a very large, gigantic anglerfish, but floating in the air, and it has a bunch of barbed tendrils hanging down like a long beard, and it's just sort of bobbing. It's definitely trying to catch the light of your torch that I assume you have, and
Yeah, I got one.
and it's trying to like get the glimmer to happen on the scales. And indeed, you could see how Nurbo could be drawn in. Something about the glimmer briefly clouds your mind. This creature clearly draws people to it, to their death. What do you all do?
In the light of my torch, can I try to get sort of a better examination about this thing? See like maybe like its size or its shape or anything like that.
I think you are pressing forward in pursuit of your goals. You can ask
Yes.
questions and make a hunt roll.
I don't know if I have anything that gives me an extra dice here. Um, so I guess it's just one. Unless the torch count as something or
Sure, yeah. In this case, I'll say so, yeah. What are your questions?
my questions are size, shape, and demeanor
Hmm.
of this creature, and whether or not there maybe are more of them.
What you got?
5.
It is about the size of, like, it's pretty big, actually. I'd say it's like the size of a love seat, roughly. And it has a big maw of like a lower jutting jaw of sharp teeth, right? And it has very dull, stupid eyes that it sort of stares back at you with. And you start to notice, you can see that it's actually propelled by gases that it expels from its body, from vents beneath the tangle of tendrils. And it sort of opens its maw and gives a little and some of this gas like floats over, and you can immediately tell it's noxious and poisonous. What do you do?
Um, Dear companions, you notice the gas it's emitting. I would keep yourselves away from it as much as you can. It looks to be noxious, miasmic, if you will.
It's currently floating sort of higher and a little above you now, out of weapon reach, well, at least melee weapon reach. And it's now just puffing out a great amount of this noxious gas that sort of rolls down in the air, down to where you're at, blanketing the area.
It is attempting to lure us to it. I suggest we use its own tactics against it and withdraw
I don't think it's trying to
until
lure you at all at this point. I think it's trying to kill you with its noxious cloud.
Um, Trying to see if any of our hirelings have anything like a gust or something, but they don't. Um, Interesting.
The
Is there
smell of that
anywhere
gas is rather dreadful. Isn't anyone going to do anything about this?
we are assessing the situation? Give us a moment.
Can
But
I
I
I
would say,
had
use
very,
my
very weak lungs as a child. Don't you see? I am particularly susceptible to this sort of attack.
oh yes, we can tell.
you know how when when people overturn a canoe and you put your head up in the canoe, there's air in it still, even though it's
I do not.
overturned? What if we use my tent? We'll cover ourselves, continue down. This cloud cannot follow us down.
That's a great plan. Guide us through the risk roll, Alina.
I am afraid that there's holes in my tent and we're just going to
Well, no, we have
suffocate
to say
me.
what's afraid. Not
Oh,
you.
you have to. I keep thinking this is CFB stuff, and I
Yeah,
have to say
yeah,
what I'm afraid
yeah.
is happening. Sorry, everybody. What do you think can happen if this goes real wrong?
well, we can't see the creature anymore if we're under a tent, so that doesn't seem
It has other methods of
ideal,
attack, right? Yeah.
right?
Yeah. More comically, maybe we try to walk away with the tent over our head and accidentally walk off the cliff.
Oh, what an ignominious end that would be.
Imagine explaining that to Cassian later.
We all walked off a cliff.
TPK.
Fantastic. Okay, well, keep going, Alina. You got your first die, easy.
Yeah, because I have the tent, so I can use that. The only skill that I have that I think would be useful. Wait, just no, because it's
You only get one.
either an equipment or
Yeah.
yeah. In that case, if anyone has a devil's bargain for me, I would love to take one.
Hmm.
No matter what, Nurbo is going to be so taken with your ingenuity that he will not stop flirting with you.
You will not like Nervo's flirting. And I love that. I'm seconding it.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat that with anything. I want to see that.
I hate you all.
You
Yeah, I'll
don't have to
take
take it. Okay.
I'm gonna take it, of course. I'm not sure if I'm risking my
You
normal
are,
E
because
here.
the poison
Okay.
is inherently dangerous. Yeah.
All right. So I have two
And you can
light.
obviously take help from the others if you end up needing it.
Yeah, 2 light, 1 dark. Let's go. That is a 6 light. I rolled
Nice.
2 6s. Very good.
The scene is yours, Alina. Describe how your ingenuity, your cleverness helps save everyone and navigate away from this creature.
Well, I think everyone should have been expecting my ingenuity and cleverness would save them because that is what I do. And I whip out my tent. It is a small tent, it's a two-person tent, but we're looking to stand up in it and not sleep, so we don't need quite as much space. And as I whip it up, I'm sort of using it like a sail to collect the fresh air from down over the cliff and then up over all of ourselves. Similar to, not that Alina knows this, but that game you play in school where you have the big parachute and everyone flips it up and you sit on it and it stays open. It's similar to that. Inside the air is still rank. Some of the gas did still get in, but it's not to quite the level of lethality that the air around us is. Unfortunately, now we are all under this tent and visibility is limited, and we're all very, very close to each other and close to Berwyn and Nurbo, but we're alive.
Indeed, you are. You eventually kind of get down to the street level um, of the first layer of Old Kalduhr. And I think I'd like to just take a moment to do a little bit of paint the scene. You've been down here, you've experienced terrors and wonders already in your short time exploring Old Kalduhr, and yet you are still taken by the sight of the place. You can only see little bits of it because of your torchlight and whatever ambient cave light there might be. But what do you see in this ruin, this ancient ruin that reminds you that this was a powerful and wondrous people?
It should be pitch black down here. It should be, by all means. But on the tops of the cave, along the ceiling, there are these stalactites that hang down, but they're not stalactites. They are crystals that are lit from within, lighting the roads like street lights. But they look like they're, well, not naturally grown, but grown from the rock by the people that lived here then.
And there's a moment where we're walking, and Berwyn's torch hits the side of the statue, and we don't see above anything above the arms, but it's holding some kind of bowl in its hand. It's a very large statue, almost gargantuan even. It's holding this very large bowl, and the torchlight hits the inner rim of it, and there's this kind of like trace of gold in it. Um, that looks almost as if it was pouring gold out of it at one point. Not enough for us to like collect or for it to be of any value for us, but maybe it hints at the riches that might have been here once.
And I think the torchlight also picks out a bas relief of uh, depicting tribute being brought to the rulers of this place by a variety of, like, by the way they're dressed. It indicates these are like different peoples bringing tribute to this place.
This, of course, is all very impressive, treasure hunter, to you, Alina, but not so impressive as the ingenuity you showed helping us escape that creature.
Yes, well, I am quite ingenious, you see.
I hope you'll forgive me for saying, but it came as quite a surprise to me. I thought for sure someone who would let their loyal hireling get killed in the middle of a mission, especially so early in their employ, would be, well, maybe the weakest link in the chain, so to speak. But you have actually turned out to be quite impressive, I have to say. I shall be sure to give Bright Teeth Assyrio, my employer, a very, very good report.
Oh, dear Nerbo. The bravery that Osto showed in the face of the dangers that we had experienced. Truly, truly, a braver man had never existed. I only managed to get out of there because of my ingenuity and my talent for seeing solutions in problems, as I'm sure you can understand.
Oh, yes, it's
Osto
very
was
clear to me now.
very brave.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And your cleverness is very, very clear to me now. Since we are on the matter of Osto, was it? Yes. He takes out his book and he opens it up. He says, "Unfortunately, there are going to be many, many expenses that have to be paid as a result of his passing. We make certain commitments, don't we, whenever we hire someone into dangerous jobs? Someone, for example, is going to have to take care of his ailing mother for the rest of her life, and that will be a certain amount of expenditure. Someone will have to, well, there's the funeral matters, and I suppose in his hometown they'll want to build a statue or some such of him to honour his passing and his life, short though it was."
Well, Luna is
Nervo.
nothing if not charitable.
"Oh, indeed. And certainly my employer, Bright Teeth Syrio, is more than happy to chip in. This is a group effort after all."
Well, perhaps I will take on one of Osto's burdens, and Bright Teeth Syrio could take on the other.
"Well, we have come up with a formula, in fact, that will adequately devise the various remunerative responsibilities of all parties involved. But I have to tell you, I've never been so delighted to enter a number in my ledger. It makes me very, very happy to keep you financially sound and responsible."
We hear that, Alita. He wants to
Uh,
keep you financially responsible, that is.
Well, I myself am financially responsible, so this only makes sense.
Clever and good with money. My goodness, I can't believe you're not married yet.
Well, I am dedicated to the sisters, you see.
Oh, right. I suppose you've taken a vow of chastity or some such.
Something like that.
I see. Well, noted.
So how many burdens should I be taking on based on your formula?
Oh, no more than is required, certainly no less than is demanded. You can take heart in that, dear treasure hunter.
I feel like this is a good moment to mention that in Hearthfire, I did apply Osto's burdens to my burdens, and I am now at 5 burdens. I did have enough gold to take care of my burdens and heal myself down to Ruin 3.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but nothing for my hoard.
you are down now at the street level, and you have completed your climb set goal, and you have a new set goal, which is to travel between locations of Old Kalduhr. Now, you can travel without too much trouble. I mean, you'll have to still kind of navigate there a bit, but you can go directly to the Orphan Villa, to the Dwarven Bath, which Alina and Osto discovered before fleeing. And I think those are the only places that you've actually visited so far in Layer 1. You can also travel to somewhere completely new as well. I'll remind you that there was an interesting thing about the Dwarven Baths that you had to enter through a sort of crack in the wall, and getting out of the Dwarven Baths from the front entrance leads to a bridge that goes to another part of the street layer. And so another thing worth noting is the Dwarven Baths are probably a lot safer now because Osto destroyed a lot of the dwarfs. So that's a thing. So where are we going? What's the plan?
When Osto and I were down here, we saw a bridge. I'd be interested in seeing what's across that bridge. Any objections?
Perhaps. So why didn't you cross that bridge?
Well,
You didn't open the door yet. It was locked.
also, I'm pretty sure that's when we got zapped
You got attacked.
We got zapped down to the
Oh,
orphan pit.
that's right. You got into the pit. That's right. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure something you all did got us lost in the orphan pit at that moment.
I don't
So
recall.
I would like to You don't recall? You don't recall, Berwin?
Oh, I mean, I recall the pit. I don't recall doing anything to get there, though.
Orphans are perfectly dreadful.
That was a place I would not be keen to revisit.
Just a burden to the state, really.
Would you...
So, the bridge, then?
The bridge, then.
You try to teach them skills to make them into productive members of society, and it's completely hopeless.
You know, I happen to be an orphan.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, right. Alina, then lead the way.
And I will.
Indeed you do. There is a bit of navigating that has to happen here. But you have your guide ritual, and so that will certainly be of some help. Yeah, you're pressing forward in pursuit of your goal. Ask some questions, Alina, as you guide the group through.
I think I want to get a bit more of information about the places that we're passing, the things that we're skipping as we're going towards our location. I want to look around and see if there's any passages we haven't noticed or doors we haven't looked at. Just to get a more full understanding of the area that we are in before we get to the baths.
Yeah, go ahead and make a hunt roll.
And I think because I have skills, I have skills in vigilance, but I think actually it's my background as an expelled apprentice. I am used to big grand halls and temples and spotting where, the servants go in and out and things like that.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's good.
So 2 light on a hunt. That is a 5.
Nice. Take your token. You're finding your way through. I do think your ritual helps you here a bit. I'm not going to make you roll for the ritual, but I like it kind of in the fiction as you're sort of following the thread to this place that you remember.
The thread that the sisters give me. Thank you, sisters.
Thank you, sisters. And have you mentioned to the others, by the way, what you discovered? No. Okay, you're keeping that to yourself. Very good.
I think we determined that Alina had known it all along, but we as players had only just discovered it.
Yeah, that's good. I think Laura will come up to you at some point. She'll say, Alina. She actually takes your shoulder so that you can guide her. Alina, you have not yet mentioned what you discovered in that crumbling tower. You thought perhaps you were going to perhaps encounter a manifestation of the sisters. Did you?
My dear sister Laura, I did indeed. It was more terrifying than I could possibly imagine. It was too much even for Osto and I to combat. It was something corrupt, something like a sister, but not. And I worry that all of the preaching, all of the power, all of the prayer that those of us, those like us, have been bringing to the world is not enough. I worry that the sisters are growing in a way that is broken. We need to preach harder. We need to bring more people into our fold, Laura. We need to make sure that people understand how powerful the sisters are and that their reach, even down here, it is something worth reaching for. Do you understand what I am saying?
I understand you well enough, Alina, but I have to ask, if you have this new mission to bring more people to the faith, to gather the flock, so to speak, why are you now here in a place where there is no one?
You understand that
Surely you should have left this encampment, gone back to the cities, and ministered to the people.
I could not. It's not enough to minister to people individually. It is not enough to talk to people one-on-one. We have to minister to populations, to cities. We have to influence people who are much, much above us in power. We have to be in power, Laura.
I was always led to believe that the faith of the sisters was one of humility and charity, not gathering and maintaining power, Alina.
The power is not for us, Laura. You don't seek power for your own gain. You seek it for the betterment of all the people that need it. A beggar on the street has so much power of their own faith, but they have no power in society. A beggar on the street versus the governor of Fort Durham, for example. Who has more influence on how others will believe?
The treasure hunter speaks it true.
Thank you,
What is
Nova.
the point? What is the point of having high-minded ideals or civic intuition if you don't have the money needed to back it up?
Speaking
no
of
point.
money, we should probably look for some down here, yes? Instead of these philosophical back and forths engaging
Around
we
that
are.
time, Gon returns to you, Torum, and he says, Torum, I've discovered something that I think you might want to take a look at.
What kind of something?
Oh, Torum, you know my way. I like for things to be a surprise.
So long as it is not an overly dangerous surprise.
Oh, I've no doubt it's an overly dangerous surprise. That's what makes it all the more surprising, wouldn't you say?
Berwin, Alina, I feel that Gon has yet to lead us too far astray.
And there's a moment where Berwin didn't realize Gon was even there, so when he turns, he sees and kind of, but he'll say, "Oh, yes, you. Where have you been?"
He has been doing his job and scouting ahead.
I didn't ask you,
yes.
Torin, with all due respect. I asked Gon.
Yes. Well, are we going to go and receive the fruits of my labor?
I don't share the same sense of frivolousness and joie de vivre that dear Torum does. What is it that you're taking us to?
There is a group of people. There are other people down here. I've found them.
And do they look like they would harm us if we...
Yes.
So why
Or
do we want
treasure
to go?
hunters.
No, not treasure hunters. They were speaking a language I don't recognize.
I would rather we take them by surprise than vice versa, Berwin.
Why are we seeing them at all? Did you see treasure amongst them?
No, I didn't have time to fully scout out the area. But Torum speaks true. It's best to get the jump on them before they get the jump on you.
Why are we jumping them at all?
There is only so much room down here. We run the if we do not
I have made
confront
my
them.
report.
If we do not confront them, Berwin, we run the risk of stumbling upon them later when we may be in an disadvantageous position.
Dearest Laura, you are always wise counsel. What say you?
I don't think they're treasure hunters. I don't have a record of anyone else supposed to be down here. And if they are, well, I need to get their names and find out how much they've found so that my employer, Bright Teeth Assyrio, can get his cut.
I was asking Laura what she thought, dear Lobo.
I trust Alina in this. She puts her hand on your shoulder again, Alina.
Dear Gon, is this population of people near the bridge that is just past the Dwarven Baths?
No, they're not in that direction.
I do believe we should still visit the baths and the bridge. It'll give us time to think about how we want to deal with this population of people. We don't know their intentions. They don't know ours. The element of surprise is still with us.
For once, I'm inclined to agree, Alina. I think that there is wisdom in this approach.
Very well, I shall go keep an eye on them then. And I will do my best to make haste back to you if I see them on the move.
Very well.
He scuttles off.
And Berwin kind of leans into Alina and says, "We really have to get a leash for him."
Or bell. Something like that.
I love it. While we're waiting on Rob, let's take a 5-minute break. Gon is going to keep an eye on the people that he found and will report if he sees them moving anywhere, especially toward you. Gon is very trustworthy. There's a gold thread leading you to the Dwarven Baths. It only works because Alina's been there before. And so you arrive. You will enter through this crack in the wall that was made by poor departed Osto. And it takes you into the foyer of a bathhouse. There is a large double-door exit, which is also the main entrance from the bridge side, which is locked from the inside. Or I should say it's locked. It's not like unlockable from the inside, it's just locked. The lock has 3 separate keyholes in a triangular pattern. There are 3 large rooms with pools inside the richly mosaiced baths. The hot water caldarium, the warm water tepidarium, and the cold water frigidarium. There are several other small rooms containing massage tables and changing areas. There's not too much left of the dwarven attendants. I'll remind you that they look like little stone statues of children. And they are, as you kind of enter, you see them kind of broken and busted, crawling about. You might see one bath attendant who is like busted in half. It's just a torso crawling, still trying to do its duties. You might see just a single little twitching stone hand trying to crawl toward a stack of towels, stack of old moldering towels. I once visited a place just like this in the Rose district of Ambret. Yes, it was splendid. It was a special treat from my employer, Bright Teeth Assyrio. I had done a particularly good job ferreting out a certain, how should we say, misplacement of funds. And I was rewarded handsomely with, an afternoon in a place like this. Though not quite like this.
Something tells me it was a very quick afternoon. At any rate, I'm going to go up to the door that has the three locks, and I want to. So it's like it goes outward, right? Like it goes into a different part of the chamber,
It
or
open the door opens up into the bridge that you're trying to reach.
oh, got it, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was. Never mind then. Uh, in that case, then, you said that there's another sort of passageway.
You come from the rear in this like crack in the wall into the foyer,
Yeah.
and you see the bath chambers, and then there's also several other little rooms as well.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go towards the sort of, I guess, leftmost chamber of the three.
That would be the um, that would be the caldarium, the hot one.
Yes. Hmm.
And if you, interestingly, you don't actually feel the heat at all until you cross the threshold, and you would only know it's the caldarium from a engraved plaque above the door that's kind of like like a fire, it's meant to indicate heat, right? And there's also a lantern that kind of glows red to indicate hot, right? You have a set goal here, which is to unlock this door. Ask your questions as you enter the caldarium, Barwin.
Um, my first question is, if it is locked or if it is locked, I want to sort of press my ear hole against it and see if I can, or
Oh, it's just
hear
an
if I
open
can.
doorway. You just walk right in.
Oh, okay, got it. Then yeah, I want to see if there's some way to maybe turn the heat off or to manipulate the temperature here. Just
Make your
to,
hunt roll.
I don't really think I have anything that would help, so I'm just gonna make the one. 6.
Nice. Take your token. The steam heavy air is nearly burning hot. And you only experience it as soon as you cross the threshold, and it's suddenly like your skin is starting to redden. Your your various boils and pustules on your skin are bubbling and pulsating even more in the heat. The large pool of water is boiling, and it's surrounded by a sort of columned arcade where alcoves contain benches, and there are large brass pipes mounted to the walls in quite complicated patterns. There is a sort of control panel thing on one wall. Um, this control panel has a massive chainmail that's rusted into a nearly solid mass next to it, and a rusted axe as well. What do you do?
Do these look like they are attached to anything, or are they just sort of like left there?
The chainmail and the axe?
Yeah, like
They're
is
just
there
on the ground.
okay. Um, I'll definitely take a look at the axe to see if there's anything remarkable about it.
We'll come back to this. What are you doing, Torum?
I think Torm is deducing that each of these three chambers probably is key to one of these locks. But I think splitting up would be unwise. So I think I will follow Berwin into the Caldarium. And I don't know. It strikes me as the way Torum's mind works. It strikes him as a puzzle of sorts.
Mm.
And he likes puzzles. So I think I'm looking for anything that looks like it could be part of a mechanism or that there's some mechanical trickery involved here to his mind.
Yeah, I think your questions are good. Go ahead and make a hunt roll.
Any relevant skills. Let me see if I've got some equipment. No, let's just do that straight up. I don't know, unless you'll take vigilance as a.
I don't think so.
Okay, fair. A 4.
take a token, but you encounter something terrible. The problem with Old Kalduhr is they had a very, very different way of viewing things. They had different symbologies, different language, just a different way of thinking of things. They were a different type of civilization, much more advanced than your civilization, really, in a lot of ways, actually in most ways. And I would say that, unfortunately, the controls of this thing are somewhat indecipherable. It's not totally clear what is happening just from a look. You are starting to get rather overheated, and I'm going to give you a condition, overheated, because it's very, very hot in here. But also, I will tell you that one thing you'll notice is that amidst this pipework and such, there are also what are clearly vents that probably release steam into the room. You can try to manipulate the machinery, but you'd just be kind of doing it blind. I don't think you're like, we just see what happens more than anything. Alina, what are you doing right now?
Well, I don't. If everyone else is not splitting up, I don't want to split up. But I've also been in the Caldarium, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the mosaic with all the rubies was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's still rubies in that mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in here alone before, trying to avoid the attention of the watcher statues. So I think I'm just going to go and see if there's any more mosaics or rubies just scattered about in here that I could just kind of grab while there's a lot going on in this room.
There, you can certainly go ahead and make a hunt roll.
Oh, good. I don't really have anything that's going to help me here, so I think this is just a one dice hunt roll. And that's a 3.
Hmm.
Greed doesn't pay, children.
You can find more of the rubies and get enough of them to equal 2 gold. You can even begin chipping away at them and nobody will stop you because the number of dwarf bath attendants is so diminished from Osto's work that no one comes in to stop you.
That doesn't sound terrible at all.
No, it doesn't, does it? My goodness, it's so hot in here. Oh. Yet, it is good for the skin, I would say. It flushes the pores out. How do you feel about that, treasure hunter? To you, Alina. Do you feel like you need your pores cleansed?
I've been in this room before, and I did not feel any sort of cleansing. The only cleansing I am interested in is the cleansing from the sisters, you see.
Oh, yes. Your vow of chastity, of course. Whew, but it is rather steamy. My goodness. Puts me in mind of my youth. Hot, sweaty youth. Oh, my goodness. What is that you're doing there? Chipping into the walls there. What is that?
Rubies.
Oh, my word. Rubies. My goodness. What a wonderful find. And he's kind of like looking over your shoulder, looking at the rubies. I tell you what, treasure hunter, I won't even, well, let's just say, I won't even note that little find down in my ledger. What do you think of that?
That seems against your standard sensibilities.
Oh,
What is the catch then?
no catch. No catch at all.
Very well.
Hmm.
I shall go about my business and you shall go about yours.
Oh, it is so hot. I hope you'll forgive me if I take off my shirt. He does.
I'm sure that you will want that soon enough when we enter the cold room.
He sits down on the bench, sweat dribbling down his scrawny frame. Oh, my word. Is this what it's like? Treasure hunting? Treasure hunter?
Sometimes it is like this, yes.
Oh, but it's not so bad as all that, then, is it?
Sometimes you are getting torn to pieces by a monster like poor Osto.
Oh, yes. Poor, poor Osto. Oh, so sad. You know, you could have just come back to camp and said that he abandoned his post. We'd have no way of knowing, and then you wouldn't have been responsible for his upkeep.
Yes, but he sacrificed himself for the entire camp and for the sisters.
Yes. Eh, just a professional tip, I guess.
He was my hireling, and I had some level of responsibility for him.
Berwin, the axe is just a rusted old axe, but you can certainly make the hunt roll if you have any other interesting questions about it.
Um, no, but I think we're just gonna toss it into this. You said there's like a pool in the middle,
It's a
like that's
big
boiling.
boiling pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I'm just gonna maybe like I'm gonna toss that in the chainmail in and see what happens. And if nothing happens, then I will move on.
Nothing you wouldn't expect. I mean, it kind of like
Yeah.
sizzles and
I wasn't sure if maybe like the chainmail would magically like become
oh no,
lustrous, beautiful.
no,
But
nothing like that. I mean, I'm sure the rust is being flaked away by the heat, but it's
yeah.
just more rust. I'm sure.
I will wince at this pasty, scrawny financier, I guess. I don't know what his title would be.
Bookkeeper.
Bookkeeper, yeah, just like splayed out on the bench.
He would call himself a soldier in the administrative army, but
I'm sure he would. Um, no, no, by all means, do take a seat. I know that adventuring could be rather taxing. Alina, what do you have there?
Rubies.
Rubies.
Quite
And
a number of them.
are there more that I can pick? Dear Keeper?
no.
Rubies, eh? You didn't perhaps think to share, to divulge with us this find.
I assume that the other rooms also have treasures
Dora,
such as these.
did you know that Alina has rubies?
Not officially, she doesn't.
Indeed, Bowen. And I think Torum's not really paying attention because he's trying to work out where the pipes for the steam, how that whole system works.
Oh, dear.
Well, Torum, are you going to start flipping switches? What are you doing here?
Uh, yeah, I think, or maybe I guess the pipes are like behind the wall, if pipes they are.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
go in and out. Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll start experimentally flipping switches to see if I can
I think it's a good idea.
understand which one does which.
Make a risk roll. Please guide us through the risk roll. Do you need the text of it?
I think I take a light die for the attempt. Is that correct?
Well, there's a whole process here. So the first thing, let's see
I do
here.
have it because you gave it to me the other day. One sec.
I'll grab the text as well. All right, it's here in chat from the top.
You need to attempt a risky task. Say what you hope will happen and ask the GM and the other players what could possibly go wrong. So what I hope will happen is that I can determine the purpose of each of the individual switches and how one might combine them together to achieve the desired effect. What could go wrong?
I think you could trigger some sort of like cleansing situation where the room is sealed off and hot steam is blasted into the room.
Steam purge. Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically my idea.
Yeah, I that's what I was thinking too, is that there's some way of cleaning these rooms.
Keep going.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I take a light die if the task is something I'm skilled at, or is easier due to a piece of equipment. Hmm. I have the skill. Yeah, vigilance doesn't really make sense.
If
Um,
I may intercede on behalf of Torum, vigilance might actually make sense because you've been all this time, you've always been interested in puzzles and how things fit together and your little labyrinth game that you had and the labyrinth
Yeah, and maybe like
experience
kind
that
of
you
following
had.
the pipes really carefully.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
else might
yeah.
get impatient with that, right?
Right, exactly. Doing it, approaching it methodically and
Yeah. I think
with
that makes
patience.
sense in that context, yeah.
Okay, I'll take a light die for that then. And does anyone have a devil's bargain for a second light die?
No matter what, Nervo also fall. No. Uh, no matter what, shutting off the system or even like trying to sort of recalibrate it or reconnect it or whatever, will awaken something else uh in the spa.
No matter what, Nerbo is taken aback by your mechanical skill, your intelligence, which is utterly belied by your appearance.
No matter what, because you have two of the warden's things,
The bells.
the bell and the helmet, um, I believe the heat does something to them that causes the wardens to take more note of you.
Oh, it does something to the magic.
I like the idea of that I awaken something within the spa. Let's do that.
It's like the hardest of the devil's bargains.
Yeah, it is, but I don't. Nobody needs more attention from Narbo, so
Nerbos was totally harmless. There's no harm whatsoever in that. That was the easiest devil's
I'm not
bargain I've ever
harmless.
done.
Not harmless to Torm's sanity, I don't think.
Indeed.
Your worry level
Is
just
this
goes up
inherently
automatically.
is this inherently dangerous?
I
So
wouldn't
that I
say
need
so.
to add a
No.
die. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a 6 then.
Wow, the die roller is very kind. Uh, you were able to successfully adjust the temperature, and eventually the water will cool down, and this place will become more bearable. Um, Give us a little bit of the scene. We're not going to conclude that yet completely. We're going to have more scenes with rest, but just what is it? How do you? What is the insight? How are you figuring it out?
Yeah, I think it's Torm's methodical and patient approach to these kind of things, where he operates a single switch at a time and observes carefully the result, rather than a more impatient or less technically minded treasure hunter might, flip multiple switches at a time and then not know which one had done a particular thing. So he's, very conscious of like isolating individual actions and ensuring he understands what they do before. So while Bowen and Alina and Nobo are squabbling, he is just not paying any attention to them and hyper focused on this study of this mechanism.
Well, Berwin, what are you doing in the meantime?
I think he's just kind of I think he's over Alina and he's definitely over Nervo. And it seems like Torum's sort of preoccupied with the mechanics. So I think he's going to go out back into the sort of main area and check on that second room.
This would be the tepidarium inside.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we can. It's a quick jaunt over to the tepidarium. No trouble.
And I think on the way he's grumbling about like finding his rubies of his own.
Indeed. The tepidarium is a large pool half full of muck rather than water. It's just muck. Everything in this room is thickly coated in slime and mold. I would say the air is heavy with spores and decay. One side of the pool has a wide deck with the remnants of wood furniture. Several mostly intact chairs are grouped together on the deck, and each of those chairs has a slime-covered skeleton in it. The skeletons are posed as if they were conversing and drinking wine. Ask your questions.
Well, I mean, the big one here is, are there any more rubies?
Indeed. Make your hunt roll.
Um, and I think, let me see if there's, can I use my, since I'm the one with the torch, can I use that as an extra dice?
Sure, yeah.
Ooh, 3.
There is a mural on one of the walls. It's not in the same position as the other mural, but it's a big mural. Unfortunately, it's covered in mold and slime, and you'll have to clear that off to see if there's anything valuable set in the wall. Do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like 30% mold, so it's fine.
Indeed, indeed. Um, Ask your questions as you press forward in pursuit of your goal.
Um, Not only do I want to know if there are rubies, and I want to know if A, they're valuable, B, if I can pick them, and 3, or C, if they hint at anything else that might, if there's anything about them that might suggest about maybe what what the slime, the mold did, if it was like naturally this way, or if something
Mm,
happened.
interesting. Go ahead and make your hunt roll.
4.
You're clearing away the slime and mold, and you get a token, of course. And this actually reveals a mural of the Old One of the Forest. A very ancient depiction of the Old One of the Forest. I'm sure Cassian wishes he was here right now. The face of the mural is made from emeralds in different shades. They're very valuable indeed if you were to start chipping away at them.
Yeah, sure, why not? It should be fine. Cassian's not here. He's not gonna chastise me.
As you do that, as you're focused on that, you fail to see or notice the elephant-sized mound of multicolored mold run through with clear, glistening slime and broken stone pieces of dwarven bodies nestled within it, trapped, shift and move, and indeed heave its bulk surprisingly quietly out of the pool. We'll pick up with this in a moment. So tell me, treasure hunter, what got you into the line of work you're in? Not the treasure hunting, the sisters and the chastity.
It's an extremely personal question. I am quite surprised by you, Nurbo, that you would just ask that straight outright.
Well, the way
You
I
seem
look at
much
it,
more diplomatic and businesslike than that.
the way I look at it, treasure hunters, we're in a place of danger. This could be, this could be the end for all of us. Why stand on ceremony when this could be the last intimate transaction any of us ever have?
We stand on ceremony because ceremony is important. Tradition, culture, vows, those are all extremely important. If you do not have those, what do you have? It's like what you were saying, that if there's nothing to return to, why even go out?
Alina speaks it true, Laura says. We are all brought to the sisters in our own way, We all heed the call of the sisters. We all hear it differently. I did not find my faith until after I was struck blind. And I realized I did not need my eyes to see. The sisters allowed me to see with my heart. What are you doing right now, Alina?
I'm finishing taking the rubies out of the wall because I'm done with this conversation.
Indeed.
In fact, I'm just going to stop at the ruby that I'm not even going to finish taking the ruby that I'm trying to take. I took the other two that you said I could take, and this is the third one that I was chipping out. And I think I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to leave.
Indeed. Torum, you eventually the water stops roiling, the steam is no longer suffocating, and that's when you all hear, or those of you who are still in the caldarium, you start to see first these apparitions appearing in and around the pool, ghostly echoes of bathers, ancient Kalduri bathers. They bob in the water. They sit around the edge, dangling their translucent, ephemeral legs. They appear to be laughing. They appear to be touching. They appear to be engaging in intimate transactions. But they make no sound except for just a sort of spectral exhalation. What are you doing? What's everyone doing?
I think the sound is quiet enough that Torum, in his focused state, is not paying a terribly great amount of attention to it. He's aware it's happening, but it's not really what's interesting. Now that the thing that's interesting him is that now he's managed to cool the water off. He can look to see if there's anything in the pool.
Indeed. Make your hunt roll.
Um, would hmm, I hate to keep relying on vigilance, but like trying to study carefully if there's anything in the water
I
might
just don't
make
think it
sense.
applies. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
you either can
yeah.
look down there and see it or not, unless you have some kind
Well,
of
I do have
tool.
training in athletics, so I could
Get in.
plunge into the water and
You
just get under the water and
go for it.
so let's do that.
Make a hunt
So
roll.
3.
Hmm. Alina Torum just plunges into the water. What do you do?
I run to the side of the pool and I look in to see if I can spot him, to see if I can see him. I imagine this water isn't like crystal clear. This cannot be clean. It's been sitting here for how long? Can
It's
I
actually
even see him?
you can. It's actually surprisingly clear and clean. The heat has killed anything that
Ah.
might be there, but you actually see Torum. The pool's quite deep, and Torum is being weighed down by half-broken dwarf statues clinging to him, weighing him down, pulling him down. Meanwhile, Berwin, you get slammed up against the wall, up against the mosaic, and you see this massive elephantine, roiling mass of mold with disgusting, slimy pseudopods coming off of it. You are in combat with the thing. I need to know how you're exposed to danger right now. And roll weak point.
I yeah, party. Would I have time to let off my whale ritual to try and
No.
lower the endurance? Didn't think so. Well, my weak point is 3, and I am weak because I am alone.
Indeed.
I don't have my friend.
It's an endurance 10. Please roll six-sided die.
Jesus.
We're looking for 10 on that six-sided die. Best of luck.
Yeah. 4.
Give me the first part of the combat. What does it look like?
Thankfully, there's not a hit, but I think there's that like moment where the the polychromatic slime slams into Berwyn's back and sort of presses him. It squishes his face against the mosaic of the old one, and I think instinctively Berwyn sort of like inflates a bit, like his back juts out, the pustules and the mold on his back sort of expand, pushing the mold away. So it gives Berwyn time to crawl out from beneath it. Berwyn is sizable, but this thing is obviously like massive, filling up most of the space of this chamber. But he's still in it to win it.
What weapon are you using to attack it with?
I have my so I can either use my cudgel or my whip. Both are sort of flavored to be like just pseudopods.
Yeah, I
But
think you need something else. The thing is too big and it's just a big mucky mass.
I have my torch.
I'll take the torch. Yeah, you can like burn it, keep it at bay, and maybe burn the corpus of it enough. Fantastic. Roll of combat too.
That's a 3.
Two and a one. It's not a weak
Two and
point, at
one.
least, though.
Yeah, yeah, 2 and 1.
Give me the next round of the combat.
Yeah, I think this is weirdly the most human he's felt in some time, seeing something that's even more grotesque than him, more massive. So he's just sort of like swiping at it with the torch, trying to keep it at bay, knowing that, slime molds tend to to avoid fire or being on fire. But this thing still is so massive that it doesn't seem to phase it. It's just sort of illuminating, glistening, the glistening sort of translucent slime coating through it.
I will tell you that this thing has a special power called drag and consume. What that means for our purposes is if you ever take 2 hits on your weak point, or 2 or more, those hits cannot be blocked with armor, and you are dragged into the thing's body. So you can only block ones right now. Are you going to call for Laura?
Yeah, I think not in the ritual way, but he does shriek, like his mouths open up and he does let out a scream.
Laura will run to aid Berwyn. Torum, you got your own problems right now, and Alina, you have to choose who you're going to help, Torum or Berwyn.
Oh,
If she wants to help us at all.
I mean, it's Alina, so she might not. But I think in this case, she can't be down here by herself without a big burly guy, and the 2 big burly guys are in trouble. So I think, yeah, I'm going to take my holy water. I have 1 use left, and I'm going to say a prayer to the demonic sisters, and I'm going to dump it into the pool by the rules of pseudoscience. The fact that this should dilute all into all the molecules in the pool and hopefully in some way help Torum. I'm staying with Torum.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work, but I do like the idea of you staying with Torum. So, Torum, you're doing a risk roll. Guide us through the risk roll, please. You are being grabbed and weighed down by half-busted dwarf boy or stone boy statues. Statues.
Are these like falling on top of me, or are these actually grabbing me?
They're grabbing you and pulling you
Mm.
down and weighing you down in the pool.
Well, I think what I'm hoping will happen is that obviously I can escape them, but also just see if there's anything on the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, always stay focused, as in the prize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. I mean, I'll tell you what
Could
could
go
go
wrong.
wrong. You get drowned,
Mhm.
straight up. I think that's it. So gather your dice.
Uh, take a light die if this is something I'm skilled at or I have equipment. I think I have speed and protection, which,
Yeah, I'll take that.
and
Yeah.
athletics. They're
Athletics
all
is
kind
probably
of,
the most appropriate. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And if anyone has a devil's bargain for me,
I'm going to do a harsh one. No matter what, there's nothing at the bottom of the pool.
That's pretty bad.
No matter what, the water turns back on to heat.
That's pretty good. I don't think I have any
that's
better.
pretty good. And I already have the overheated condition. Um, yeah, let's do that. Let's turn the heat back on. Something turns the heat back on. Maybe the thing we awoke when I was looking for when I was figuring out the mechanism.
I think because of your condition, I'm going to put you at an extra dark die too. So you're going to roll 2 light, 2 dark.
Lovely. That's a 6 dark.
Your ruin goes up. You do succeed though. Describe how you. I think you just get like scalded a little bit as the water heats up. You might even inhale some of it, which is a problem, right? In fact, I'm gonna give you scalded lungs as a condition as well. But do go ahead and describe how you do not die.
Yeah, I think these things grabbing for him are maybe a little clumsy and they're not particularly fast moving, whatever kind of mechanism they are or magical animated thing. Um, and yeah, Torum is, despite his bulk, he's quite fast and a capable swimmer and is able to use a combination of his strength and speed to break free and avoid them.
Indeed.
And yeah, as Alina just suggested in chat, I would like to spend one of my hunt tokens to find something.
Oh, very good. You will be able to grab before you surface a golden tiger's eye pendant, which is worth 1 gold. Alina helpfully pouring holy water into the water as you come up.
Did that even
Does that
do
count as a
anything?
use of my
No, I'm not going to
equipment?
make you
Okay,
use
good.
it. I just like it as a bit of color. I like just like a reaction, like like what do I do? The natural reaction would be to try to like fish him out, and you're like, I love it. Laura runs into the tepidarium and she says, "Tell me what to do, Berwin. What do I do?"
Light this bloody thing up. And I'm asking her to use her Kindle
Fire.
ritual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing it. She's calling upon Saint Ara, the torchbearer, who always answers her call. Fire is pouring forth. She adds to the combat. You are now at a combat 4. Go ahead and roll it.
Do I need to roll a weak point for her or?
Oh, we do, don't we? Yeah. She's exposed because she's blind and she doesn't really
Yeah.
know what she's up against. She got a 3.
Oh, good.
You can all be consumed at once.
That's true. Yeah. We'll be together finally.
All right, combat 4, go ahead.
That's 10.
Nice. Any hits? No hits either.
No hits. Oh.
Fantastic. Give me the scene. How do you both take this thing down?
So I think that Laura comes rushing in, sort of using her senses to guide herself in. She hears the wailing from Berwin, and when she calls upon Saint Ara, her body sort of glows that radiant golden shine, and she just sort of walks into the room, ready to embrace whatever's in front of her, and she just sort of wraps herself around the mold, and it just starts to hiss and sizzle, and as it's sort of starting to like writhe in her grasp. That's when Berwin, seeing an opening, takes the torch that he has, and just sort of shoves his arm inside of it, trying to burn it from the inside. And as the two of them sort of keep it bound there, it just sort of comes up, immolates, until it just sort of melts away onto the floor.
Nice. Make a gold 10 roll.
One.
There is some loose coinage inside that you're able to retrieve, but perhaps most importantly, worth 1 gold. Most importantly, though, inside of it is the 3-pronged key that opens the main door. Let's
Take
go.
that, and I also want to take those emerald eyes.
Indeed, you can pry out the emeralds. In total, it's 6 gold worth of emeralds.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, Alina, while Torum is catching his breath, so to speak, and you're putting away your things, Nurbo has wandered over to the controls, and he says, "Oh, it's gotten awfully hot in here again. I think I remember what Torum did to..." And he's fiddling with things, Alina. What do you do?
I would like to take the moldy towel that I have and throw it over his head so that he can't see what he is doing.
You can just pull
In
him away
hopes
from it.
That
He
he can
says,
just stop. Yeah.
he says, "But it's very hot.
Then we will leave the room.
I'm so hot." And
It's not that hot.
he leaves the room. So, Torum, Alina, what are you both doing right now? You can also go check in on Berwin because Laura ran out of here and see that they're fine.
I don't hear any screaming, so I imagine they're okay. I'm going to go grab that last ruby.
Indeed. The total amount of rubies that you're able to retrieve for the day is 3 gold worth. So, Torum, what are you doing right now after you collect yourself?
Yeah, I think drag myself out of the water and cough up some of this horrible warmed water, and I say to Alina, I was hoping to find a key there, but I did not see one.
Indeed, Berwin, you'll overhear that, and you have the key now.
I have it. You're welcome. Dearest Laura, thank you. Your presence was
Do
invaluable.
not thank me. Thank Saint Ara the Torchbearer. She is the one who brought down her holy flame and helped us in our hour of need.
But of
Isn't
course.
this wonderful, Alina? Saint Ara responded to my prayers yet again.
Truly wonderful. It seems that Saint Ara is looking down upon all of us.
Well, what's everyone doing now? There's kind of nothing else to... Well, there might be more things at the bottom of the Caldarium pool, to be fair, but there's nothing else in the tepidarium. So.
There's the third one, right? The chillarium or whatever it's
The
called.
frigidarium, yeah.
Frigidarium, yeah.
Yeah. I do like chillarium, though. That's pretty good.
Chillarium.
That's where you go for the relaxing beats afterwards. Yeah.
Indeed,
Yeah. With the puka shell necklaces there.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can send Nurbo in there since he's so warm. Send him in to
Nurbo,
cool off.
yes, that is a capital idea.
Oh yes, splendid. I suppose it's this room here with the blue fire hanging over it. Good.
That's the one.
He goes inside.
Pop on in and tell us if there's anything in there worth noting.
Oh,
I think
it's
I'll go with
refreshing. Very refreshing, I would say.
I'll go with him since I'm also overheated and have scalded
Indeed,
lungs.
yeah.
So
You can clear the overheated condition at least if you go in there. Let's take a 5-minute break. In addition to the frigidarium, there's also, as I noted at the top, a number of smaller little chambers that are like supplies and massage tables and that kind of thing. So it's a complex, right? So where is everyone at right now? Torum and Nervo are in the frigidarium. Alina, where are you at?
I'm standing outside the frigidarium watching what's happening.
Okay. And what about you, Berwin? Where's Laura and Berwin?
Oh, I'll go into the frigidarium too, see what's going on. But I'm staying closer to the exit just in case I need to run out.
Indeed. The frigidarium. Cold as an ice-bound mountaintop. The touch of the air on skin is actually kind of painful. Breath fogs and crystallizes. Round the edge of the pool is just a narrow walkway. The water itself has a layer of ice on its surface. There are 2 well-preserved bodies frozen within the pool. You can see them. Torum, what do you do? You're muted.
Sorry, I want to look at these bodies and see what they're like dead, I presume.
Yeah, well, you've asked your questions, so go ahead and make a hunt roll.
Yeah, my interest is to see what if I can identify what killed them. Would protection count as a skill since I'm trying to
To see
make
if
sure
there's
the
something.
same thing doesn't
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
to
yeah.
me?
I'll take that. Yeah.
6?
Take your token. We'll pick up with you in a moment. What are you doing, Berwin? Looking for more murals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm scoping it out. I'm scoping it out. Yeah, what do I find? Is there
Ask
uh
your questions.
yeah, I will I want to see if there are any more valuable gems the uh in the walls and any of the mosaics. But I also want to be aware, keep my senses open, sharp, for any possible signs of organisms
Hmm.
that might be stirring about.
Make your hunt roll.
All right. 6?
Nice. The die roll is very kind. Take a
I
token.
know. Taking it.
There are no there are no mosaics on the walls of this particular chamber. However, near the back wall, there is a sculpture of a frost bear's head emerging from the wall. The mouth is the spout of a waterfall currently frozen. So like the water would be like pouring out into the pool, but right now it's just a frozen stream coming out of this big bear head. Laura comes up to you and she says, "Here, Berwin, let me keep you warm." And she ignites a fire in her palms to warm the both of you as you search around.
He tenses up at her proximity to him. Like he's wanted this obviously, but doesn't know how to handle it when it's in front of him. But yeah, thank you. Yes, of course.
I'll
Well,
have some of that as well. And Nervo
back
walks
off.
up and he backs off. There is enough of St. Ara's light for all, Nervo. And she holds up her flame, and Nervo warms his hands over her fire. Incredible, isn't it? Power of the sisters. Too bad there's no
Yes,
sister of bookkeeping.
that surprises me. You'd think there would be.
You'd think there would be, but I have a suspicion why that is not the case. No offense, Laura, but I think when it comes to numbers, one doesn't need to rely on faith. Numbers are indisputable. They are one of the only truths, perhaps the most important truth of this world.
Yes. Well, if you are sufficiently warm now, if you don't mind, and when I'm next to this bear head, is there anything like of value that I can take from it, or is it just sort of
Uh,
um
Make a hunt roll again.
I was actually, can I just turn in one of my hunt tokens because I've got a lot
Sure.
to just have something from it?
Ah, indeed. The bear's eyes are black diamonds, worth 2 gold total.
I'll take it.
You can pry those out. There is a problem, however, which we'll get to in a moment. Torum, you said you were looking at these bodies that are suspended below the ice. They are well preserved. They appear to be 2 middle-aged men. One is entirely hairless, the other bald, but with a full and lengthy beard. You would have to crack open the ice and fish the bodies out to learn any more than that. There's no apparent sign of what put them there or what happened to them.
They look like they've been there. I guess it's hard to tell if they've been there a very long time. If
I mean,
they're
they could have been here from the beginning, right? And they'd
right,
be
that's what I'm
preserved.
wondering.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If these are genuine ancient Kalduris, that would be quite a find to someone, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I will look toward Nobo and say, "What do you make of this?"
Well, um, they seem rather dead.
Yes, but for how long?
Are you suggesting they're going to come alive, treasure hunter?
No, I'm suggesting they may be of interest to an antiquarian.
Oh, yes, yes, of course, of course. Yes, I knew what you meant. Yeah, I believe so. I remember once doing a deal with some antiquarians, handling some financial transactions for them, and yes, there was a lot of interest in the idea of making contact with the bones and bodies of the ancient dead to unlock whatever secrets they might hold. And given that these bodies are so well preserved, my goodness, they'll be practically singing their secrets as if in the streets.
What do you propose we do with them?
Oh, I didn't realize this was my job. But I suppose you can crack open the ice and drag them out.
Are you not
Hmm.
the person who looks into a situation and sees the numbers? Can you not see the
Yes, of course.
financials?
Yeah, yes, of course, of course. Certainly.
Should we say a prayer to Saint Acero, who, of course, is the patron saint of pawnbrokers and moneylenders?
Oh, no need, no need. Um, I would venture to say you could get a medium-sized chest of silver for these bodies. To the right buyer, of course.
The question is, Alina, how do we get them out of here?
Alina, it
They're
sounds like
rather
you've
too
stepped in now
large.
to the frigidarium.
Yeah, I've stepped inside. Mostly because I'm mad at Nervo. I do not know if it is worth it. Just some silver. We would have to haul them up either through the elevator down below or up the switchbacks. Unless we can break them into pieces and only bring the important pieces up with us.
Or if we were to fashion some manner of hauling them, I imagine the ice encasing them would slide upon the stone of the floor.
As this is all going on, Berwin, attempting to remove the black diamond eyes of the polar bear head, damages the polar bear head. Indeed, what happens is there is a torrent of icy water, a mix of freezing water and deadly ice chips that cracks through the mouth and pours forth, fills the room, putting everyone in danger. You most of all, because you're right there. Berwin, what do you do? Guide us through the risk roll, please.
Oh, right. Um, well, kids, what do we think can happen to me in this moment?
You become frozen on the spot. This is water that is so cold, it's like dry ice.
Yeah, well, I'm also curious, like, uh, how are you going to try to stop it, I guess? Or, like, what are you going to try to do
I don't know if
here?
I'm necessarily interested in stopping it. I
Or
just want
just
to get away
running?
from
Or,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
I just
that's
want to
all
get away
right.
from
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
That works for me. I agree with Amanda. I think you just become frozen solid, entombed in ice, and that's it. You become a grotesquerie for some future group of treasure hunters to find down here and wonder what happened to you. Maybe something happens to poor Laura also. Maybe St. Aura's fires don't burn that hot.
Right, yeah, I was
Dang.
thinking the fire goes out.
Got her.
Those are all possibilities.
All right. So I have so my idea here is that I've got two ways I could play this. For my first light die. I'm thinking either transformation, the idea being that because I do have the rubber ritual, this sort of idea that I'm like using my body to sort of like quickly, like the reflex of my weird shape sort of like bounds me away. Or um, because I have the skill in chaos, I'm clearly sort of this is
I
this is a
like
chaotic
chaos.
moment.
I like the chaotic. I think it's an interesting approach. Yeah.
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 So that's my first one. So do I have any devil's bargains?
No matter what, Laura is severely injured by the icy blast.
Yeah,
Monster.
no matter what, the iciness quenches the fire of the saint that Laura carries.
Oh, she can't access her Kindle anymore.
Yeah, wait, get up
I
off
like
her
He's an
that.
evil.
neck.
He's
I
a,
like
Get up
that a
off her
lot.
neck.
I like that a lot. Me, Alina. I would say because you have a skill in rubber, um, no matter what, a piece of you breaks off. It
Ooh.
is frozen and snaps away.
Um, I guess my question to you, Jason, would like, what would that mean for him mechanically, given his like weird
You'd have to
clay
take a condition of
facey?
like missing an arm or whatever.
Okay. Um, I am just gonna try and wing it. We'll see what happens.
One light,
So
one
it's
dark,
one light to go.
and one dark as well.
Let's say four on light.
Uh, what's the complication going to be? I think the complication is going to be that you are utterly chilled to the bone. The condition can't be cleared until you go back to camp.
So I'll take it. I'll take it.
So you're just getting away. That leaves the other two exposed. Describe how you and Laura get away.
As I chisel away the second black diamond eye from this polar bear head, my chisel just sort of cracks. I don't know my own strength, just sort of cracks the face of it off, and it just sort of starts rushing out. Instinctively, I just sort of like, Mr. Fantastic style, wrap my arm around Laura's torso and just yank the two of us out. I think it's sort of like one of those things that like maybe it has like a sort of what's it called, nitroglycerin, the super cold
Mm-hmm.
liquid, where like it has this sort of billowing fog that just sort of instantly coats my body with this rime as I pull her away. Like my back is just totally like crystallized, but I get out of there.
They Torum and Alina, you have to deal with this. If one of you has a plan to save the group, you can certainly implement it, but otherwise, you got to run.
I have a brilliant plan that is not going to fail.
What
I
is
would
it?
like to say a prayer to Saint Aura. Work for Laura, it's going to work for me.
It's gonna work for you
because I know Saint Aura is a demon.
Indeed, you do. Indeed, you do. I think that's a great plan.
It's a great plan.
It's a really great plan.
I
Go
bet
ahead.
my condition's not going to cause any problems.
Um, I mean, are you actually doing your ashes ritual as well?
I'm not doing my ashes ritual. I don't really have anything that I
So you're
think
just kind of
would be
calling on her. I like it. I
Yeah.
think it's good. Okay, so guide us through the risk roll.
What could happen if I fuck this up?
You. I think it's worse. I just think that you just get frozen solid and you actually, I think you become frozen solid, and I think over time there will be a legend. You will become a legend. People will believe that you were some sort of frost martyr or something, right?
I
You
like
know, the
being a
Ice
legend,
Maiden.
but I don't like that part.
Another
Understand.
thing that could go wrong is that Saint Ara is being a demon, takes this opportunity to be unleashed into the world and run amok.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was thinking
so good.
I was thinking this is her time to collect.
Zap. She's
And
gonna-
yeah,
Yeah. I am cursed by her.
Oh, you are. That's right. Oh, I might have to put an extra dark die in here because of that. Well,
Well, I have training in saints.
perfect.
So I would also like a devil's bargain if anyone has one I would like to take.
no matter what. I really like this idea of Saint Ara coming to Earth. So I think
I
that
was trying to figure something out.
yeah, so I think no matter what, she possesses one of the hirelings.
No matter what, you can't save Nurbo.
Okay.
Barely a devil's bargain. The freebie.
No, Jason knows what he's doing because he knows I love the idea of Saint Ara coming to Earth, and I don't want Nervo around. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was thinking of something similar lines to Jack with, no matter what, Saint Ara kind of steps in, uses your call to step into this world.
Oh, I want Nervo to die, but I gotta pick Saint Ara. I take Saint Ara.
Y'all are really inviting some hell on top of yourselves. But I love it. I'm here for it. You have 2 light and 2 dark.
2 light, 2 dark. Let's do it. Roll. That is a 6 dark.
Your ruin goes up and I'm going to give you a kind of frost damage, but you will save everyone. What does that look like?
I think it's quite simple. I just stand very, very still and very quiet, and I mutter under my breath. And it's not the standard tongue. It is a different language. It is, if anyone would know it, it's a demonic language. And I am saying a prayer out to Saint Ara, who I know I didn't actually burn to death a while back. Don't worry about that. And I am asking her to burn away this coldness, to save us all, so that I can continue to do good works in her name. And by good works, I mean works that she would want me to do, not necessarily, morally good.
I'm going to walk through this door that you all have opened. I need a 5-minute break, though, to think about what walks through. Alina speaking demonic prayers. Laura, aghast, even amidst the chaos of this ice and cold. Aghast at you speaking such terrible blasphemies. Torum, there's a shard ice crystal flying right at your face. It looks like it's about to skewer your cheek, but instead it splatters into hot steam. The room is suddenly incredibly hot. The bodies that were suspended in the pool fall to the bottom of it as the water is rapidly evaporated away. And from the caldarium, rising up from the pool in the caldarium, 2 doors down, is an enormous head. The head is huge. It's as big as the pool itself, and it looks very, very badly burnt. Charred black flesh, no eyelids, just 2 eyes rolling around in charred sockets, gums chattering. The head is not attached to anything, except it does have 3 blackened tongues that stretch out from the mouth, pulling it out of the pool, and it crawls on the tongues. And the whole while, there is just fire and smoke and heat belching out of it. You're the first to see it, Berwin. You and Laura. Well, Lauren doesn't see it, but you're the first to see it because you're in the foyer, and that's where it's headed. This thing is here to answer your call. And
Imagine Laura reacts to it though, like she senses that evil.
oh, she says, yeah, that we are in the presence of something terribly evil. We must get out of here now. This is going to be, if you fight it, if you don't, you can try to escape, but if you fight it, it's an endurance 13. You have to first find a way of lowering the endurance to even be able to kill it. Its attacks are so hot that only magical armor blocks them. And if it goes to 5 rounds, anybody still in the combat is instantly burned to a crisp. So, what's the plan?
Work. I don't know about y'all, but I'm pro booking it. I'm pro
Yeah.
getting out of
Yeah.
here.
I'm not going to
Discretion is the
fight.
better part of valor.
I'm not going to fight the embodiment of the saint that I just summoned. I want that saint to live and flourish.
Alina is a mad woman. I don't know why you all keep bringing her with you.
I blame Cassian. Yeah, no, let's book it.
So what do you do?
Well, I've got the key to the
You do?
door.
No?
So I will let everyone know. Come, the key, I have it, and I will. I'll take up Laura and just start hoofing it all the way to the door.
This is a risk roll to get out in
That's
enough
fair.
time, basically.
I jump
That
on
is fair.
Torum's back.
Why don't you jump on Norbo's? I'm sure his back is sturdy and clammy.
Nerbo's jumped on
How often we
Torum's
talk
back.
about
Nerbo's already there.
Yeah, before you can even get on there, it's Norbo.
Guide us through the risk roll, please, Jack.
All right. So I have so what do we think will go wrong for me if I don't manage to unlock the door in time?
The key melts, you can't escape, and you got to fight the thing.
Pretty bad.
The thing follows us through the door. It doesn't care.
Yeah, it can kind of melt its way through whatever we can put between it and us.
All right. So my first, it's definitely dangerous to my mind and body. So I'm going to put a dark die in there.
Oh.
I'm going to use for my first light die. I'm thinking strength just to sort of power through and push ahead. Um,
I'll take that.
and then so yeah, does anyone have any devil's bargains?
No matter what, Laura gets left behind.
I second that.
That's good, isn't it? Given like her devotion to this particular saint.
Everyone's being so fucking evil about devil's bargains today.
Shady, shady,
Just
shady.
hateful, evil
Just
devil's
hateful.
bargains.
Shady boots.
You don't have to accept it.
No, no, I don't. What is yours, Torm? What would you like to bequeath onto me?
I don't know. I really like the poetic nature of like L Laura's own
The irony.
saint, like consuming her. Oh, it's too good.
Who am I to ignore poetry? I'll take that light
You'll
then.
take her burdens. Are you sure about that?
How many burdens does she have?
I don't know. You tell me.
No. Oh, she has two. What am I at right now? Three? Oh no, I'm good. I don't care about that much about poetry. Uh, so I am going to abstain from that, and I'm
You
just going
have
to take the two.
one light, one dark. Let's see how you do.
5 light.
5 light. Oh, the complication, and this is why maybe someone might want to help you. The complication is at least one of your companions has to combat this thing for a round before they can escape.
Nerva.
Not Nervo.
I think that's Torum's job. He's all about protection.
Go for it.
He's a bodyguard by profession.
Roll your weak point, Torum. I think vulnerability is pretty obvious here.
Yeah, my weak point is 6, which is a bad weak point.
Well, you can't kill the thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
Go ahead and roll. Just let's see if you take any hits while escaping.
Combat 1, right?
Yeah.
That's a 5.
Okay, so you hold it off. Give us a scene, Berwin, of getting everybody out of there, except for Torum, who has to fight a little bit.
As this head is lurching along, the three black tongues clawing and stretching its way across the corridor, pulling it, sort of dragging itself down down the hall. Um, Berwin has Laura in one arm and is sort of like trying to extend his other arm using that sort of rubber magic that he has to reach out and like preemptively put the key into the keyhole in the door. And when he rushes up, he finally sort of like pull that elasticity sort of snaps and he's able to start turning it, but it's old, it's ancient, so it doesn't turn the way that a new lock would. He's realizing that he has to use more strength. So he puts down Laura and puts both of his hands on and starts to try and crank the key as much as he can, but the thing just keeps coming, clawing its way towards us.
Torum, hold it off for a bit.
Yeah, I think Torum, we see Queen Banmir's handprint, see it into his face, and I think we see that kind of glow as this thing approaches him with the reflected heat. And yeah, he just ushers the others out and stands facing this thing, which is far bigger and more powerful than he is, and hefts his sword as best he can and doesn't advance toward it, but just blocks it. You know, it will have to go through him to get to the others, and he just uses his speed to avoid whatever it throws at him.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's just so hot that you're like having to just holding your armor and weapons like kind of burns you a little bit. You don't take any damage, but like, I do think you take a condition with some burns, just from being so close to this thing. The door gets open, and I think we end the session with that kind of pulled out Fellowship of the Ring style bridge shot with all of you running across the bridge as this thing flails around in flame in the back at the baths. Let's go to Stars and Wishes.
Holy moly. The devil's bargains this session were incredible. They were so good. I did not take a single note because I was too enthralled, but everyone was really mean in exactly the best way. Jason, you came out of that with this giant fucking head with 3 tongues. That was brilliant. That was so good and terrifying. Jack, not only did Berwin like save the day a bunch of times, but he was so catty the whole time. It was wonderful, as always. I love having somebody worse than Alina, which is Nerbo. He's the worst. I do like how much he compliments Alina, though, so that's nice. Um, Rob, Torum's single-mindedness with the hyper focus on the pipes, that was such a brilliant character move. It was so good, and it really held for so many things, and then it kind of turned back where he was, okay, I'm single-mindedly focused on making sure that this room gets, we're in the cold, no, when we were in the hot room, it gets cooler. And then I like the juxtaposition of later on when we're in the hot room and it suddenly, no, in the cold room and it suddenly becomes hot. And how you decide then to stand up to this thing. I don't know. I just felt very cinematic. It felt like the Two Towers version of, thinking about like the Lord of the Rings crossing the bridge, but it really felt like that. And I'm super excited to see how Cassian is going to come and join us. Is he going to have to fight the big head to do that?
I don't know how I'm going to get Cassian to you guys. I don't know how it's going to work. We'll
He
figure
might
it
just go to
out.
level 2 and just bypass us
Yeah,
completely,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed just all of the. I don't know. It's such a lovely thread to pull on that we've revealed the sisters are demons, so we can do stuff like that. And I always, yeah, I always enjoy someone calling on something that's more powerful or dangerous than they can control. And so, yeah, Alina, wow, is that's another thing she's going to need to apologize for. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to some just desserts emerging from that. And like, how are we ever going to get any deeper into this place now? It's
I feel like there will never be just desserts for Alina. Like if the world has taught me anything, especially recently, is that justice does not exist. So Alina will probably thrive, and good for her. She is an icon queen. Um, but
Make
for
old
Rona,
Kalduhr great again.
oh God. Um, but uh, but really though, yeah, this was really fun. There was, man, yeah, y'all were so mean today. Thankfully the dice roller wasn't so mean. It had to kind of balance
Yeah, the die
out.
roller was balancing out everyone else's evil
Yeah,
today.
it's really compensating, which I appreciated. Um, but yeah, Jason, I love the fucking like weird Akira fucking head, like giant
Hmm.
flaming
I kind of imagine it
three
also
tongue
as like
head.
like the like the Tar Man from Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
you
That's a good
kind of had that
time.
vibe too, yeah, to
Yeah,
me in my mind. Yeah.
that's good. But yeah, just like the imagery of it, like scraping towards Torum and like the visual of him like beating back the heat and keeping us safe was really cool. And I like Rob, you sort of jumping in with that and like using what was on your sheet to sort of like inform your decision making in that moment. Um, and yeah, similarly with the whole like being too preoccupied with the puzzle of the pipes for our petty squabbling was really fun. Alina, Queen of Petty Squabbling. Love that you have Nervo now. Can't wait to see what happens there. Um, another starter, Jason. The Nervo characterization out of the gate was fab. Wishes definitely want to see how we get Cassian in here. Um, I hope it's not easy. Because he should have been here to protect us and keep us from making stupid decisions, but he didn't. And now we're facing off against an avatar of a dead demon. So, otherwise, good time.
Yeah, stars were yeah, I had fun playing Norbo and kind of playing with everybody as that character. And I particularly enjoyed the courtship of from Nerbo towards Alina. I thought that was really great. Very Very sexy, I thought. Really, really did something, I think, for me and for viewers. I think it will as well. Just very hot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had, yeah, I agree with the like working the machinery in the Caldarium. That was really great. I love that kind of moment, and it was such a good callback to like Torum's character up to this point, right? Like there was something really nice and bookendy about that, especially like it's been a long time since we first were introduced to Torum, right? Like back in the back in that that castle that castle in the Gossamer Void, right? So that was, you know, it's really interesting to kind of have this like labyrinth through line and all these like kind of things. It was really cool. I really thought you all were going to die just now, and so it's not so much a wish, but it is a. It would have been really interesting if you TPK'd while Ben wasn't here. That would have been kind of incredible. Star for playing the Devil's Bargains to the hilt. Everybody was really, really going in on Devil's Bargains today. It was great fun. Being kind of strategic in Devil's Bargaining, and also like just mean too. And so that was really good. That's a good time. I think that was like, this is what Devil's Bargains are about, you know. So it felt great. Really enjoyed the. I really like this sort of like, this is I guess a star for the incursion, but I like the idea of you were all like by the time we got to the Frigidarium, you were like trained to like go look for the jewels in the walls, right? And like, and there's something fun about like knowing that and then looking for it. It's very dungeony, and then also like, you know, knowing there's going to be trouble but doing it anyway. Like I don't know, that's just really fun. It's just such a dungeon crawl thing, and I really dug it. And what could be more classically dungeon crawl than prying jewels out of a statue's eyes and then watching shit, you know, like go to hell. So just a good time all around. And yeah, and even though I tried to give you a way out with killing Nurbo instead of summoning Ara the Torchbearer, I still appreciated summoning Ara the Torchbearer. It was a good move, so it was a lot of fun. But I think that's all I got for me. Any other stars and wishes? All right, well, I'm going to say goodbye to people watching the video.